Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with the next update for my A to C product pan. I do not have the most exciting update today, but I still did some good damage to these eyeshadows, so I am excited to at least show you where I am. But before I jump into that, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. But let's just jump in to the first eyeshadow. So as in the last couple of updates, I will have the full list of all eyeshadows down below, but I will only go through the ones that are still left in this project. And the first one that I have to talk about is one that is for C, and that is Cyborg from the Sultry palette by Anastasia. So I have the palette right here, and the shade, like I said, is Cyborg, which is this kind of silver shade right here. It's gonna be a quick update because I haven't used it yet. I have mentioned in the last couple of months that this is more of a winter shade for me, so I have not wanted to reach for it much in summer, but I feel like I can soon start focusing on this again. And I don't have too many shades left in this project either, so I feel like if I just focus on the remaining ones, I might be able to wrap this project up earlier than the end of the year. So yeah, I just need to make a mental note to reach for Cyborg, but I don't have any updates for the past month. However, the next shade I have used quite a bit actually. I mean, not too much, but I do have 7 uses on it, and that is the shade Ginger from the Aina palette by Anastasia. I'm hoping you can see that I have a really decent dip in this eyeshadow, and I'm actually wearing this today, and it is my look today. I'm wearing both Ginger and Sponsored, and I do have like a really light consistency shade in my crease to blend it out, and then I also have a Cleona eyeshadow that is very similar to Sponsored, or it has a similar shift to Sponsored, like in the kind of inner part, just to make it a bit more sparkly. But I really love these two shades especially together, so I have been using them a bit more. I've used Ginger with other shades, but I have used it with Sponsored I think twice in the past month, and I really enjoy that. So I'm definitely expecting to have pan on Ginger by the next update, because like I said, the dip is pretty huge at the moment. And so far I reached for the shade 13 times. Next up we have a single eyeshadow. It's technically not a single eyeshadow, but it is an eyeshadow from the Subculture Palette, which I do have in my singles collection at the moment, or in my singles palette. And that is the shade HWY from, I think it's not actually that shade, but it is from the Soul palette. But this is actually the shade Floaties, but I just have it in that position, and that's why I'm using this one. But this is what the eyeshadow looks like, and again, I do have a little bit of a dip in this shadow. I have used it 3 times in the past month, so I have a few uses, and I definitely think this is another one that I will focus in on and try to pan on the next month. If you've been following along with my other project, you know that I had a lot of really orangey shades in my Pantastic eyeshadows in not this past month, but a month prior, and that's why I didn't use this too much in the midst of summer. But it is still the end of summer at the moment, so I'm gonna try to use this before we get into fall, because although I like wearing orangey shades in fall, this is a bit too bright for me to enjoy too much in autumn. However, this has also been a really nice shade to mix with other things. I used this to mix with like bright blues and things to create like a bronzy shade, and that's been working really well. So I can make this work even if I don't want to wear this really bright orange, but I definitely think that I should be able to have pan on this by next month. So next up we have the shade Jester, which is one of my Makeup Geek singles. This is like an olivey green. It does have some other shades on top of it though, because it's in my magnet palette, but that is probably more of a true color. I have used this once in the past month for a total of 4 uses. Not too great, but I do have a little bit of a dip in here, but I'm definitely quite far away from panning this one. But I have also mentioned with this one is more of an autumn shade for me, so I think this is another one that I can start using a bit more now. But I don't think I'll be able to pan on this in the next month, maybe in the next 2 or 3 months, but this will probably be one of the shades that stick around in this project the longest. And I forgot to mention with HWY, I have used this 7 times in total. For S, we have the second shade I have in my Aina and Anastasia palette, and I already mentioned it briefly, but that is the shade Sponsored. I do have a dip in this one as well, as you can see. I don't think it's as deep as in Ginger, but it's definitely quite significant. And I have reached for this shade twice in the past month for a total of 4 uses. And like I said, I am wearing this on my eyelids today. I think this will be another one that I will try to focus in on, but I have mentioned before that this is such a lovely shade that I don't want to kind of force myself to use this up, because it really is like a stunning eyeshadow. I love wearing this, and it's like a perfect kind of mix between neutral and colorful eyeshadow for like a subtle enough everyday look. So for example, if I know that I'm going somewhere where I want to look put together but I'm still feeling a little bit of color, or like I need to look quite professional but I still want a little bit of color, this is the perfect thing, because it has like that warm brown base, but then it has that greenish shift, but it's not too out there. So I really love this eyeshadow and I'm excited to be working on it, but I don't want to force myself to pan on it too early. But if that happens in the next month, I'm gonna be super excited. But like I said, I am not rushing it. For you, we have my Subculture palette, and this is the last eyeshadow standing in this project from this palette. And that is the shade Untamed, which is this one right here. You can see that I probably have a little bit more of a dip this month, and I have used this eyeshadow 3 times. So I'm getting there, but if you compare it to the pan in New Wave next to it, you can definitely see that I still have quite a way to go. I do think this will probably be the eyeshadow that stays in this project for the longest, together with Jester. And yeah, I did use it as an eyeliner actually in the video I filmed yesterday, so I think these will go up around the same time. I think maybe the video that went up, yeah, I wore it in my Pantastic palette update and a couple other videos, but yeah, in that video I wore this as an eyeliner and I really actually enjoyed that, and it does help a little bit more with progress because since I mixed it with Gerline, I had to scrape out a tiny bit and mix it on a mixing plate, so I can kind of really dedicate the dip in the middle. So I might continue doing that, but I do actually like this as well as an outer corner shade. So now when we are getting into the cooler months, I feel like it will be more tones that I'm reaching for. So hopefully this shouldn't take too long to hit pan on, but I definitely don't think that will happen in the next month. Then the last eyeshadow palette has the last 2 shades in this project, and that is my Magic Mini palette by Juvia's Place. I am working on the shades Suba and Jamoya, and this is what it looks like now. So we have Suba right here, and then we have Jamoya right there. So as you can see, I was able to pan on Suba, but let's start with Jamoya because that is technically the next one in the alphabet. So that is this one right here, and I actually didn't use it in the past month, so I only have 2 uses on it in total. But with my Juvia's Place eyeshadows, it doesn't take too long to pan on them normally, so hopefully I can start focusing on this and maybe pan on it even in a month, because that's kind of what I did with Suba. Suba previously, I mean, it did have 5 uses previously, but I used it an additional 5 times in the past month for a total of 10 uses to hit pan. So that is very exciting, and it is my only pan this month. Not great like I mentioned, but I think I pan on like 4 shades in the past month. Can't remember exactly, but it was quite a high number, so I'm not too worried about it, and I think I'm getting closer on a few shades as well. I definitely think I will have at least 2 rollouts by next month, but I'm going to try to make it more. And I will start focusing on Jamoya again. I don't want to like set myself up for failure and say that I'm going to hit pan on this in the next month, but I'm going to try focusing on it, and if I find looks that I enjoy this with, I might hit pan on it, but we'll see. I did actually roll in a silver from my loose palette by Juvia's Place. It is the shade Mont Blanc, is that what it's called? It is like the silver on the bottom. It's a bit deeper than this, so I think maybe those 2 will pair nicely together. And if I find a look with those 2 that I enjoy, I might get quite a decent amount of use out of this. But otherwise, it is a bit more of a cool tone eyeshadow, which I'm not quite ready to wear on an everyday basis yet. So that is it for my A to Z update. I do have 7 shades left in this project, so that is pretty good. I definitely think I will be able to like hit my goal on most of these before the end of the year. There are a couple of shades like the Untamed shade and the Jester shade that I might have stick around for a bit longer, but if I only have those 2 left, I think that I can surely focus in on those 2 and hit pan on them relatively quickly as well. And like I said, for next update, I'm going to aim to hit pan on, let's just say 3 eyeshadows, because I definitely think I will hit pan on Ginger as well as HWY. But yeah, I want to say my goal will be to try to pan on 3 eyeshadows, and the other one, like the 3rd one, I'm not quite sure which one that might be. It might be Sponsored, it might be Jamoya if I find a look that I enjoy that with, but we'll see. But that is it for today. I really hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye guys.